Ooh. Hello and welcome. We're doing something a little bit different today. We are in the kitchen and Granny is cooking. I'm going to make 3 different Halloween treats for you today. First, we are making vampire dentures. And today I have my handsome assistant Robin with me. And Robin is going to give you a little introduction to some of the background decorations. Take it, Robin.
First, we of course have the lovely pumpkin that I put necklaces on because they look vaguely Halloween. A scorpion for brain bug, an owl for the vibes. I have mistaken this cow for a cat 5 times, and so it is now a cat. The big snake and the little snake, they're friends. And the witch bear, always essential for any Halloween cooking video. If you are making a Halloween cooking video and you don't have a witch bear, you're doing it wrong. And the snail has horns, so I thought it fit.
Okay, cookies are something that I have made since I was 10 years old. And I've made them so many times that I don't even bother with a recipe. But I'm going to show you the way I make cookies because I think it is simple and it is quick, and you don't need a lot of ingredients. And the basic recipe that I use to make cookies, you can make any kind of cookies you want with it. You make the basic recipe and then you add your add-ons. For this particular recipe, I actually would recommend using a tube of chocolate chip cookies rather than homemade cookies. However, we felt like making homemade cookies for you, so we're making homemade cookies for you anyway. Okay, first, you start with 2 sticks of butter. When I was young, I always used to use 4 sticks of butter and make a double recipe because we had a large family. But if you have a small family like I do, 2 sticks of butter will do it, and that is enough for the recipe that we are using. After the 2 sticks of butter, you need 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And here's my brown sugar. And my handsome assistant, Robin,
What am I doing?
will pour 3/4 of a cup of sugar into that measuring cup for me. Now, recipes always tell you to pack the brown sugar. And they do this because there's air between the sugar that you don't have with white sugar because the white sugar lays more flat. I find this to be a complete waste of time. Cooking is not an exact science. And so as you see, Robin is using, well, actually you can't see it. I'm going to lift your cup up a bit so they can see it. Robin is using a 1-cup measuring cup. And I'm just going to simply have Robin fill this cup to a little bit more than 3/4 of a cup. That's good. That's good.
There's no such thing as enough brown sugar.
And as you can see, the cup is not quite full. So it's about 3/4 of a cup, but it's a little bit more. So that makes up for not having it packed. So I pour that in. Okay, next I need 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. And then I need 2 eggs.
Oh yeah, I should mention the reason why I'm here. I'm here because this is the entirety of my professional experience on my resume. Congratulations, all of you, for helping me with my resume, because I had nothing else to put there.
My professional assistant.
Yes.
Okay, and because Granny is Princess Leia, Granny has a Princess Leia wooden spoon for stirring. After we get the butter and the sugar and the eggs, we need some vanilla. And this is Robin's touch afterward. And vanilla, about a teaspoon. I don't even bother measuring it, but if you're concerned about measurements, you want about a teaspoon. This is vanilla. This is not vanilla extract. This is imitation vanilla.
It's the same thing.
It is, except that imitation vanilla is not as strong as real vanilla extract. So you need more imitation than you do the real thing. This is almond extract, and this is very strong. This is Robin's touch. And because it is very strong, we do measure this.
We do? Since when?
I do, with an eyedropper.
I dump it in until I feel like it's enough.
Okay.
Which is usually the same amount as the vanilla because I love almond. We need more almond extract.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's
good. Okay. So now we have all of our...
Shh, don't tell Granny.
Okay. Now we have all of our main ingredients in here. And I'll...
Okay, we're not letting that go without mentioning it because it's hilarious that we forgot to turn the mic on. And by we, I mean, actually, I guess that should be my job because this is my professional experience. I am a professional assistant. How could I not remember this?
Okay, next we need our dry ingredients. We need 2.5 cups of flour. This is a 2-cup measuring cup. So I'm going to fill it with, oh, can you get me some salt? I forgot the salt.
Oh yeah, that's important. Which salt?
The brown, the one that's not coarse. There you go. I don't want it to end up with coarse. Baking soda, you need about a teaspoon. A lot of recipes will tell you to mix your dry ingredients separately, and they'll tell you to use 2 bowls. I find that a complete waste. Too harsh on the environment to use 2 bowls. But it is important that the baking soda not be all in one clump together. That can ruin the taste of your cookies. So I just simply mix the baking soda into my flour a little bit. That way you make sure you don't have the baking soda all in one clump.
You never told me this. I probably messed up some cookies.
And then you add that to your cookies. That's 2 cups. I need another 1/2 cup.
You set me up to fail.
There's another 1/2 cup. And I need a bit of salt, about a teaspoon. That's about a teaspoon. There we go. Okay. Now we've got all our dry ingredients. When you first turn on your mixer, it's going to make it fly. If that's a concern of yours, stir it for a bit first with the spoon, and that will prevent that. Another thing that helps is using a large bowl. If you use too small a bowl, your batter is more likely to be flying around.
It's kind of important that it doesn't fly around because there's a computer.
Right. And now we have basic cookie batter.
You almost forgot the most important step.
What?
You have to find the youngest person in your house and give them the beaters.
Oh, okay.
This is very important. It has to be the youngest person in your house or it won't work.
Or if you have multiple children, make sure you have enough for them to share. One child gets the beater, another child gets the second beater, another child gets the spoon. If you've got 3 kids, and then the bowl has to be shared. I mean, the bowl is worth 2 beaters by itself. Next thing is setting the oven to 350 degrees. I do not do this at the beginning, even though most recipes say to, because otherwise your oven is ready too soon, and I do not want to waste the energy of having the oven on for too long. So Robin is now going to set our oven to 350 degrees for us. Now, what I have here in the bowl is basic cookie batter. You could turn this into anything you want. I could bake this just like itself, and that would be sugar cookies. I could add peanut butter. If I added peanut butter, because peanut butter is more moist than chocolate chips, like what we are using, I would add a little extra flour. If you wanted to make this oatmeal cookie, just add some oatmeal and some raisins if you like. Use a little less flour. Use only 2 cups instead of 2.5 cups if you're making oatmeal cookies, because oatmeal is dry. But you could put anything into here and just make any type of cookies. This is just your basic cookie batter. Okay, but we are making chocolate chip cookies. So we pour in the chocolate chips. I use a 1/2 package of chocolate chips for this amount of cookies. You get 1/2 package of chips. Obviously, if you're making a double recipe for a large family, you would use the whole package of chips. I'm using dark chocolate because that happens to be what we like, but you could just as easily use semi-sweet chocolate, which is what most recipes recommend. If you prefer milk chocolate, you could use milk chocolate. And now I've got my chocolate chips stirred in.
The reason I wanted just to bake cookies. I'm the reason we wanted to bake homemade cookies, because I was the one who wanted to.
Most recipes will tell you to grease your cookie pans. I think that's a waste of time. There is plenty of fat in the cookie batter itself. You really don't need any extra. I have not had a problem with cookies sticking on my cookie pan. If you do have a problem with cookies sticking on your cookie pan, by all means, go ahead and spray your cookie sheet with cooking spray, but I usually don't bother. One thing that I do when I'm making cookies is I make sure to take the batter kind of from the edges of the bowl as I'm going, because when you get to the end, what's on the edges isn't going to have any chocolate chips in it, and you end up trying to hunt down chocolate chips and move chocolate chips from one cookie to another, so you don't end up with cookies with no chocolate chips. So if you kind of scrape the sides of the bowl as you go, you're more likely to end up with chocolate chips in your cookie. Okay, I have my first pan finished. My oven has just reached 300 degrees, so it's not quite ready, but it will be in just a moment.
Oh, I just realized we haven't made any jokes about how these are Grandma's cookies. This is Grandma's cookie wisdom. Everyone knows Grandmas make the best cookies.
That reminds me of something I saw. It was the dumbest answer I have
Yes,
ever seen on
story.
Newlywed Game. There was a couple that the question to the newlyweds was, who's a better cook, you or your wife? And this man responded, well, I am, because I learned how to cook from my grandmother, and my wife learned how to cook from her mother, and everyone knows that grandmothers are better cooks than mothers, so obviously I'm the better cook. And I thought, does that mean when your wife has a baby that your mother is suddenly a better cook because she is now a grandmother?
Yeah,
Interesting how that works.
It's great for me since my mom is now a grandma and suddenly her cooking is amazing.
The oven will be ready in 3, 2, 1. And there it is.
You want me to open this? Oh yeah, I should probably take the camera. Oh no, it's the light. Behind the scenes distractions.
Okay, so now we've got our cookies in the oven. I will set our timer. I'll set our timer for 10 minutes and start. The first batch of cookies sometimes takes just a tad longer than the consecutive ones. So sometimes the first one will need to go for 11 and the rest for 10, but generally 10 minutes for cookies is plenty of time. And while that is baking, I will start my second batch.
Sweet. I was curious because I was thinking it's kind of funny that it's like, I mean, most people have made cookies before, but also it's just kind of nice to hear a new cookie recipe from someone who knows. Let us know in the comments how you make cookies. I want to hear all the different cookie recipes. If we combine them all together, maybe we can make the ultimate cookie.
I have heard of a cookie called junk cookies, which basically you throw everything in there. It had oatmeal, Rice Krispies, chocolate chips, raisins, nuts.
I wonder if Junk Shop would like those.
Junk Shop. Have you ever had junk cookies? Wax paper to put the hot cookies on after they come out of the oven.
That's a joke I should make. To our colorblind viewers, please comment what color this bowl is.
Okay, grab the red. We might need the entire bottle of red. It takes a lot of red to make something red. Okay, pour in some red.
That's pretty.
Okay, we are tinting this frosting red.
Tinting the frosting red.
I was
Tinting
thinking
the frosting red. Is that good? Maybe a little more?
a little more.
Always remember, it's easier to add more, it's hard to add less.
True,
This
but
needs to be very
I
red.
just know from experience that you need a lot of red.
Yeah, this needs to be blood red anyways.
Mm-hmm. This will probably be pink.
Yep. Yeah, it's a girly color. No girly colors on Halloween.
Okay, some more red, please. Okay, some more red. This is our vampire blood. And here are my cookies. Watch out, Robin, behind you. They are not very brown. I'm going to leave them in for 2 more minutes.
Here is yet another reason why it is more difficult if you don't use pre-bought cookie dough.
Here are my cookies. As you see, they are nice and brown now, but as Robin pointed out, they are kind of dome-shaped on top, which is going to make them a little bit more difficult to decorate. I'm going to turn them upside down, which will give us a flat surface to work with. But that is going to make our cookies a little bit rocky. So it really is best to use the cut tube cookie dough. But we're going to work with this for today.
I wanted cookies.
Do you want to start cutting these in half? It actually is best if you would wait about 10 minutes for these to cool down. But we don't want to do that while we're trying to make the video. And as you see, even without greasing my cookie sheet, yeah, there's some little bits on my cookie sheet. But so then I take and we put a little bit of red frosting on here.
Drop the marshmallows on the floor, very important step.
Okay, so then the marshmallows go around the curved edge of the cookie. And then Robin is going to open the slivered almonds.
I wonder if you could put some of the slivered almonds in the back.
The back of what?
The cookie.
You could.
Like, I mean, there's that berry in the back. So it's like, I mean, really, 2 slivered almonds per cookie? That's a set amount of almonds. That'd be fair.
Okay, sure. You can drop 2 slivered almonds right there if you want.
What?
You can drop 2 slivered almonds right there.
Oh,
They're
that's
going to
not
end up in the back.
I thought I was going to put the fangs on right now.
You are, but I was going to say if you want this a couple in the back, you need to put them in before I put the top on.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess you can really only fit so many in the back there, but still, an extra 2.
Okay, and then we put the top on. Whoops! I got some frosting on that piece of.
Yeah, this vampire needs to brush his teeth. There we go. That looks sort of right.
Yes, that looks exactly right. I'm gonna make one more and then do that.
Make one that's a little wider, hopefully.
Yeah, and doesn't have a spot on the marshmallow. Can you give me some more marshmallows, please? This time I won't drop one on the floor.
What? That's the most important step.
Do you want a couple almonds in the back?
Oh, sure. It's important for my version of the recipe. I wish to protest against only having 2 almonds per cookie. This is how we fight. We fight back.
Okay, now put your 2 almonds that are going to show.
I mean, I need to put them on the top, though.
Oh.
Are they on the bottom?
No, they're really on the bottom,
Oh.
pointing up toward the top.
Oh, this one.
Kind of put them in between.
Yeah, but it's just...
Oh, it doesn't make much difference. There you go. Whoops.
These ones are not. Frosting.
Oops.
Ah! Let's squish it. The poor teeth.
Okay, and there we go. We have vampire teeth cookies. And thank you very much for joining us for Cooking with Granny. And this is part 1 of 3 segments of Halloween treats. Thank you. Live your life.